Hello, welcome to lecture 20. So after we set up the dead loads for this structure, let's now proceed with the reference live load. Okay, so to do that, um, under reference load definition, click add. Then we need to define the primary live load. So under loading type, we need to change it to live. Then reference is reference LL or reference live load. Okay, so after that, just click add, then close. Okay, so what are the live loads in our that are loaded in our structure? So going back again to our Excel file for the live load. So for the classroom, we have 1.9 kPa. Corridors above ground floor is 4.8 kPa. Ground floor corridors is 4.8 kPa. And for the toilets, that is 2.4 kPa. So in order for us to load this live load to our structure, let's create first the different groupings, just like what we did in dead loads. So Control G, then we can select all the plans. So let's highlight the ground floor, the second floor, and the third floor. Okay, so click selected or view selected objects only. Then on top view, let's select or create the group for the classroom. Okay, so create. So classroom, select type is floor, then click OK. Let's create another group for corridors. So that is 3.8 corridor or corridor 3.8 kPa floor. Then another group for corridor 4.8 kPa, because 4.8 is for the ground floor, 3.8 is for the corridors above ground floor. Then select type is also floor, then OK. Then lastly, we need to set up a group for the toilet. Okay, then click floor. Okay. Okay, so we need to highlight all the members for first for the classroom. So the beams that will carry the classroom are these beams. Okay, so let's just highlight. Okay, so check in 3D view if we have highlighted all the classrooms. Okay, so click associate. Next, the corridors for 3.8. So corridors for 3.8 is this one. But take note, we need to unselect the uh, beams on the ground floor because the live load for ground floor is 4.8. Okay, so now we can now associate this corridor. Then for 4.8, let's highlight all the corridors at ground floor. Okay, so easier way is to just view only the ground floor, but also you can do this manually. Select the members. Okay, then click associate. Then for the toilet, so this is now the toilet. Okay, then click associate. Okay, then after that, let's now set up the live load for this following groupings. Okay, so under reference live load, let's click add. Then on the floor load, let's click group, then classroom. The pressure is -1.9. Then global Y. This classroom is two-way, so you did not have to check the one-way distribution. So click add. Okay, if we click that, as we can see, okay, it is now loaded in our classroom. Okay, so let's check if it's really two-way. So if to check the dimension, click on utilities, then node to node distance. So 7 and 9. So okay, next let's proceed with the corridors. So again, under reference live load, click add. Then under floor load, for the group, let's apply first the corridor for 3.8. So the pressure is negative 3.8. Then global Y. So this is one way, so check one way. Then click add. And then again, for the 4.8, you can just add again the corridor 4.8. Then change the pressure to 4.8. Then one-way distribution. Then click add. For the toilet, so the size of your toilet is 3 by 4.7. So this is also two-way. So under reference load, click add. Floor load, group is toilet. Then pressure is negative 2.4. Then add. Okay, so let's check. So this, oh, why? Okay, so let's check. Control G, the toilet, highlight. Okay, so here we have an error here. Okay, so why does it have an error? Because it is not enclosed. As you can see here on the ground floor, it is not enclosed. Okay. Okay, so let's remove this beam 1105. So to do that, just click on the list, then manually delete 1105, then click associate, or you can just unselect this beam, then click associate. Okay. Okay, so let's check again. Highlight. So this is now the toilet. Okay, so in our classroom, so toilet group. Okay, so let's change it back to negative 2.4. Okay, so let us do some changes here. So since in our plans, so let's go back to our plans. If you look at the foundation plan, this is a slab on fill. Okay, so it should not be loaded on our beams. Okay, and we don't have to add any dead load or live load on our model for the ground floor since the slab is slab on fill. Okay, so if we go back to our model, okay, so for the classroom, so let's remove the loadings in the ground floor. So how can we remove the loadings in the ground floor? Okay, so under Control G, then highlight classroom, then unselect these beams on the ground floor, then click associate. Okay. And also, let's remove the corridor for 4.8. Okay, so you can just manually delete it to your uh, loadings and also delete it in our groups. Okay, so let's correct some loading. So for the live load, it's okay now, but for the dead load, let's delete these two loadings. So for the ground floor, so delete and then delete also. Okay. But for the walls and the railings, it's okay that we already loaded it to our beam since the beam will carry the loads for the walls. Okay. But for the slab, it is a slab on fill. So it is directly on the ground. Okay. So we can now delete also the ground floor to the 2 WS and ground floor 1 WS. Okay, so let's check again our loading. So for the dead load, for the live load, classroom. So let's check the classroom highlight. So it should not have any loadings here. So let's delete it, then create another loadings. For the classroom, negative 1.9, then add. And let's check. Okay, so it is now correct. Okay, so let's look at our loading. So we already loaded the classroom, the corridors for ground floor, and the toilet. Okay, so how about the stairs? So we need also to load some dead load and live load on the stairs. So to do that, so here, if you look at our model, our stair is located at this blank space here. So the loads for the stairs will be carried by these beams. So let's load first dead load. So for the dead loads, let's just assume 4 kPa. Okay, so 4 kPa, then let's multiply it by the tributary area, which is this is 2 meters, 4 meters, so divided by 2 is 2. So for the dead load, stair dead load, 4 kPa times 2 meters. So that is 8. So let's load it to reference dead load, click add. Then let's select member load for uniform force. This is negative 8. Then click add. Okay, so let's now load it to our stairs. So here, and let's check the landing in in our architectural plan. So from the ground floor, this is the second floor, then the third floor. Okay, so here. Okay, so here and the beam below. Or for more conservative, let's just apply it also for these beams. Okay, so assign it to negative 8, then assign to selected beams. Okay, so this is now the dead load for the stairs. Okay, for the live load of the stairs, so let's use the same live load for corridors upstairs. So that is 3.8. So 3.8 will be multiplied by the tributary area of 4. So divided by 2. So that is 7.6. So under reference load, click add. Then member load, that is negative 7.6. then click add. Okay, so let's assign it to the highlighted beams, then click assign. Okay, so let's check again if we already completed the dead load and live load. So for dead load, we have the self weight, the walls, exterior walls, interior walls. This is for the railings. Second floor, the third floor. For the ceiling loads. Okay, then I no, this is for the utilities and EA and ME. This is for the ceiling loads. Okay. Next is the for the roofing. So this is for the roofing, and this is for the loads from the steel truss. Then this is for the uh stair dead load. Okay, so as we can see in the plans, for the structural plan, we also have a CHB here at this area. Okay, so on this triangle, we can draw. Okay, so here in this triangle, we also have the CHB. So we need to load it also in our beams. Okay, so to do that, let's apply 4 inches CHB, then apply it to the beam. But for more conservative value, we can just apply it as uniform load, not triangular load. Okay, so going back to our model, so again, add reference load, then member load. So 4.4 inches is 3.17 and the height is 2.5. So that is negative 7.925. Negative 7.925. Okay, click add. Then apply it to these beams. Okay, so be careful not to select any um, unrelated beams. So once highlighted, click assign to selected beams, then click assign. Okay, but you can also use a triangular load if you want to be more conservative. If you want to add a triangular load, so this should not be uniform load, hence you need to apply member load, but now it's not uniform, it should be trapezoidal or varying. Okay, so you can use linear varying or trapezoidal load. Okay, so that's all for dead load and live load. Thank you.